Hello and welcome to Long Time No See, the podcast, coming to you from Gold Diggers Recording Studios in Los Angeles, California. We'll be getting to know some of your favorite comedians a little bit better, and so will they. Each week's guests have no idea who the other guest is. So without further ado, please remove your blindfolds and introduce yourselves.
Hey, Johnathan.
Yeah, what's
Nice
up,
to
man?
see you.
Yeah, Cheny, what's up, dude?
Good to see you.
You too, man. I was like,
Yeah.
face this way. I was like, I knew, dude, whenever somebody blindfolds you, it's not going well. I was gonna wake up with like an asshole in my face. And I'm like, oh my, they're like, before you take your blindfold off, just breathe in deeply. I love figuring out the room. I was trying to be Sherlock Holmes about it. This is not how it went in my head. How you doing, bro?
Good to see you.
You too, dude.
That was super dramatic. I thought you did that on purpose.
I did. He said big steps, and I got like someone who had just gotten out of leg braces this morning.
All right, we'll start with our first question. What was your most recent bomb, and how did it compare to your worst?
You want to go?
Go ahead.
So, I did a show of yours at West Side, right? And it was I was in the back, but we were all just hanging as comics, so like nobody really knew. I mean, I didn't hear. My friends were on stage, but I didn't hear the material. And I got up there and I started talking about how hard it is to be a white guy today. And this guy in the back, he yelled out like loudly and drunkenly, I'm sick and tired of hearing about suicide. And the whole room, died. And and I was like, and I said, oh man, I mean, I wasn't drunk or anything, but I was like, did I screw up? Did I just say something about suicide? And then somebody in the front row, this woman was like, no, the last three comics all had jokes about suicide. And his brother, I guess, had just committed suicide and was a vet. And not a veterinarian for those listening at home. And might have been a veterinarian, but also, I don't know the guy. And then it was one of those things where I was like, I was just doing my joke, and this guy was white, and I think that he was like taking it then racially on how hard his life was, and that I was sort of making fun of it. By the way, if you can't see me at home, also white, and so then I was like, I started to go on with the act, and then he was just like angry about the joke I was doing. And like there's that scene in Back to the Future Part 2, deep cut, where he goes to hit Griff, who's the future grandson of Biff, and then there's like a cybernetic like hydraulics, and the guy just gets bigger. The dude was hulking. He was big sitting down. It was like at the back row, and when he stood up, I bet he was almost 7 foot, and he was this big, and he was hammered. And I'm just like, I don't think this room of people can take this guy. And I remember like just bombing the rest of the thing because I was just like, well, what do you want to hear about, my lord? And I was like, oh, this is how jesters started. And this dude, and I was like making Nazi jokes or whatever, not trying to trigger the guy, not thinking that I was checking every box in his head. And it was like ridiculous. And I went on last, and I remember just bombing, and then like when he got out of the room, there was like no joke or impression I could have done to be like, what did Tom Hanks think about that? That guy was nuts, like nothing happened. And so I knew it was bad because I was walking out, and everybody was coming up to me after in the audience, and was like, hey man, you handled that really professionally and kind. And it was like nothing funny about it, nothing like, hey, you really saved the show.
I don't really like when people say that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like you handled that really well. It's
Dude,
like, what?
I know, condolences.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
So that just happened.
When was that? Like last week?
Yesterday. No, it happened. It happened a couple months ago. But it was just one of those where I was just like, man, this guy. And people were like, why'd you come to see? Oh, he kept trying to leave. And then I wouldn't like egg him on, but I would like try to get back into the act, and then he would like sort of try to come back in the room, and like every bartender, like everybody would stand up to be like, oh my God, are we gonna have to collectively jump on this grenade? And so so I can't wait to do the show on Thursday.
The West Side is like for me is like 7 out of 10 times is really hard, and then 3 times is like really fun.
Yeah.
The last time the recent bomb and the time that I bombed was your show too, seriously, and then everybody else did great though. Everybody else did
Oh,
great.
no, everybody killed.
Everybody killed.
Especially his brother. No, and listen, he didn't appreciate that joke, and I'm sorry I said it now, but it's out there.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know what, like when people go, oh, I actually had to, because I do a suicide thing too, and like this lady got really mad at me because she's like, how could you say that? Like when my nephew or whatever actually killed himself, and I'm like, well, yeah, maybe if you fucking would listen when he fucking said the thing, maybe he wouldn't kill himself.
Hilarious.
No, do you know what I mean? Like because you fucking don't want.
She committed suicide after hearing that. Bro, that is
Maybe
like
that's really mean. I'm sorry.
No, that feels like a
That was an
Dr.
act.
Phil that they cut. Well, listen, maybe if you had listened, that boy wouldn't be dead. We'll be right back. Dude, no, good for you, man.
No, but is that not the thing though?
No, I by the way, I agree with you 100% because I used to do a Sam Smith joke about suicide where I said I love Sam Smith, but it should be called Now That's What I Call Suicide Music Volume 8 because all this stuff that he does is sad. And I was like, the only time I'd ever listen to Sam Smith is right before I put the rope around my neck and kicked the chair out from underneath me. And I remember I said that at the Cellar in New York. And I remember it literally was like they turned off the sound to New York.
Oh, fuck.
Like I've never seen that happen. Not from me. Not from like that was like an Adobe edit. Like someone just like and those crowds are so packed and so fire, bro. When I did that, and then my follow up was, come on, that's funny. None of you guys committed suicide. Like you're all here, you're all whatever. And even if you did, you're survivor. Like I tried to get them on board with it, and it just was like. It was like I kicked out my own chair. Dude, I could not. I was just like, all right, well, that's my time. They're like, didn't he just get up there? I'm like, I'm going to go kick my chair out.
Who makes you laugh the hardest?
Oh, damn. Do you want to go?
Go ahead.
There's a movie called Windy City Heat that is, it's just like I've seen it so many times. That guy, Perry Caravello, makes me laugh so hard. And, I don't know I know there's such an honesty to what he is doing that I think that is really, when something is unintentionally hilarious. And I don't think that somebody needs to be the butt of a joke,
Yeah.
But I just think that like him screaming and trying to get what he wants while everybody else around him is trying to do the opposite. Obviously it's a man's life I'm laughing at, but it's still pretty funny.
Do you guys know Gary Cannon? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Every time when he does do it, I go watch him because I don't know what it is. I think maybe he also does things for the back of the room. He's always like fucking. He will crush every time, like, and then because a lot of the times his style is really hosty. But then he would do his set the same exact way. And then he would just be like, whoever's following this, good luck. Or like, I don't know. It's just, he's really quick. And also, do you know what I'm trying to say or no? I don't know how to explain it, but he makes me laugh, really hard. I really enjoy his things. Yeah.
What do you think the biggest differences are between the LA and New York stand-up scene?
I feel like they really focus on the bits in New York, like really good writing. I was talking about this with another comic. I feel like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it's about who is the funniest always. Like, I know it still should be like that, but I feel like now the setup is more lenient to be a little longer or say what's most authentic and what makes you unique. But I feel like New York is still like, you still got to crush and be the funniest. That's, to me,
I agree with that. I think for me, it's like, I feel like comics are goldfish. And so we'll only get as big as our bowl. And so if you look at like the first time I ever played at the Cellar, second name drop, and I'll be bringing it up a lot, people. It's like the Pee-wee's word of the day. Take a drink every time I bring up the Cellar. And I got on the stage and I remember thinking like, oh my God, this is way smaller than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Whereas I think about the comics that I really, that I think of that are really big out here. And I think of guys like maybe even who started on the East Coast, but we're really prolific out here. There's like, we have bigger stages. So when you see, now obviously it's not true of everybody because Chris Rock can pace a theater like anybody, But you think about I noticed a lot of New Yorkers, they stand there.
Yeah, they don't move.
And they
really.
deliver, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the goldfish bowl that they are born or that they live. Whereas like I think about even the OR, like it's just a bigger room than a main stage. The Improv is pretty big. The Laugh Factory is pretty big. The main room at the store is big. And so you get guys like Sebastian or, like Dane Cook, because there is that room. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I think that is something that I enjoy, maybe because I'm like a guy who's about that. Like I really enjoy that.
The smaller stage, you mean?
No, the bigger one.
The bigger one, yeah, to perform.
To give myself a
Yeah,
breath.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if I want to sit still and do a bit, that's like right here, I can still do that. But I remember when I first was performing in New York, I was like adjusting the stuff that I was doing because there was a lot of movement that was involved.
You feel constricted a little bit when you first go in.
Yeah. It doesn't make one comedy better than the other, but I do think that it structures a little bit our the breath that we take on stage.
Overrated, underrated cities to perform in.
I feel like DC is underrated. I just went there for like the first time, and
I'm gonna say overrated. No, it's
overrated.
You think it's underrated, DC?
Yeah, because the food is good, and it's cool, and I do feel like people are pretty down to earth. That to me, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Yeah, I don't know what I thought. I thought it was gonna be more touristy because it's DC and
for sure
a lot of. But I feel like people are. You really like stand up and the food's good. I don't know. Yeah, the weather's nice.
Underrated, I would say, these smaller market cities. Like, have you ever played Skyline in Appleton, Wisconsin?
Not Appleton, no.
It's so good, man. The crowds are, because it's not Milwaukee, it's not Madison, and they obviously have crazy big cities for comedy.
It's more conservative.
And it is more conservative, but it's weird. I think that they're just fans of comedy.
Yeah.
And I think I'll bring it up in conversation about like has anybody played this or whatever, just because I like it. Maybe it's because it's near where I grew up in Illinois. And people sort of chime in like, I love that club. And I think it's cool that they've sort of made a name for themselves as being, but I think it's sort of underrated because it's maybe not on a lot of people's track, but great club and really great people.
Skyline in Appleton.
Yeah. Overrated? I'm going to say Vegas. And Vegas, if you're listening, and we know you are. No. I don't like it. I don't like that the shows are condensed because they want people out on the floor, right? And these people are not even comedy people. Now, obviously, we get that all the time, right? Like tourists just come to LA shows being like, maybe Chris Rock will show up or like Amy Schumer or whatever. But in Vegas, these people aren't expecting a star. They're just expecting to take a break from blowing their money. And so like, I feel like there are good rooms. They're obviously like great rooms.
Yeah.
But man, I wanted to ask the crowd, like, what are you doing here? Like, by the way, for me and your family, God bless, obviously. But you don't want to be here. We don't want you to be here. I was like, can't we give this person a buffet ticket? So I think that Vegas is a little overrated for cities.
Yeah. Is it my turn to do the thing? I forgot my thing.
What's overrated?
No,
Yeah.
I feel like Vegas. Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking about the thing. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe Vegas to me is like maybe properly. I know this is not part of the question, but properly rated because it is like super touristy, and people just go there and eat the things.
No,
Yeah,
but I think you're right. I mean, I like a touristy. You like tourists because they genuinely like to. If they're there, they want to experience something,
Yeah.
But I feel like in some of the Vegas shows that they're killing time.
Yeah, and they're not like super excited about listening to the thing. They just want to get fucked up and get picked on.
Or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or they can't eat at the buffet anymore. It's a Monday. They're there for a week or
That's
whatever.
really true. But they come and then they're like, "Oh, this is Vegas. This is gonna be the thing." Yeah, but Yeah, that's true.
And there's great. Listen, Laugh Factory has a location out there. The Cellar has a location. That's 3 times. And you know, I mean, like, there's great. Obviously, Kimmel has a club. Brad Garrett. There are great clubs out there, and so I don't even think there's anything wrong with the clubs.
Comedy Cellar, overrated or underrated?
Which one?
The one in New York.
I don't get to play it enough, so I'm going to say underrated. I don't. For me, it was like, it was pretty special. Like, they had it. You know what it was? The first time I ever did it, it was like one of those things that I think that people were not expecting. Like, the lineup was amazing comics of it, and then, by the way, David Spade dropped in. Like, all these people kept dropping in on the show.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, this is the story that they want. You know, especially when it gets so publicized. Like the store. When you hear, like, oh my God, guess who's in town? You know, Mr. Chris Rock. People are high-fiving each other in the audience. Like, they didn't think that AD was going to play. Like, he's injured, and then AD, like, rips off his clothes. He's like, he's coming in the game. We didn't think he was going to play. And so I think that, you know, and I don't know if that's more common here, because a lot of them live here, a lot of, like, celebrity comics, you know, who have really made a great name for themselves. But that's one of my favorite things, like, sitting in the back of the room at the OR. And I love how people, like, make it like, hey guys, we got one more if you have time for him, Mr. Bill Burr. And they're like, you know, and then it's like, it makes their night. It's the cool. Yeah. And then the first time I ever got to play the Cellar, I thought that was really cool because it had happened a few times, and you could just tell the audience was so jazzed about it, which was awesome.
That's nice.
What is one thing that people wouldn't believe was true about you?
I smoke cigarettes. But every time I smoke cigarettes, they're like, "You don't smoke cigarettes," and I'm like taking a drag. They're like, "That's not a real cigarette." I'm like, "No, I just smoke cigarettes." But I don't even want to do it. Is the thing. I don't even really want to smoke cigarettes. I'm trying to cut down the things. And
how long have you been smoking?
Like on and off since I was like 16. Yeah, but I try to exercise too. Yeah, so maybe because
Balance
I look
it.
like I'm in shape, but I like it. I like nicotine. Yeah, maybe that's one of the things. Cigarettes. Yeah. What about you?
People would not believe that I've never done cocaine. I'll like, because I look like somebody who has it.
Bro, even
I swear, I know what I look like. Bro. I was at a club in L.A. and
even you just said people would never believe that. I like didn't believe it for 5 seconds.
I know.
Until you continued saying the thing.
I know, but it's so true. I'll be like, someone's like, "Do you want to hit this or whatever?" And I'm like, "No, I don't do it." And then, like, you will all sort of like, you know how dogs, when you say the word walk, like, everyone's head will be like, "You just do it, buddy." No, none of us are undercover cops here, bro. But I was at a club, and the hottest chick at the club came up to me, started dancing with me, and I was like, "Dude, this is really suspicious." And then she leaned in, and I was like, "Is this girl feeling me?" And she goes, "Yo, where can I get Coke?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And I was like, "Of course." I was like, "You can get it with me tomorrow night at dinner." But yeah, I've never done blow.
What do you think everyone should try once?
Blow.
No. But you never tried it though.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What should everyone try once?
Have sex at the doorway, at a doorway where there's stairs.
Okay.
I don't know why that was just that's a really random. That's a super random.
Wow, that is specific
because it was one of the most scary things, but also it was exciting.
Yeah.
It made my dick hard.
How big was the staircase? How many stairs?
It was like maybe 4 floors, and then we were at like on a second floor. So second floor is a lot of traffic. So you kind of got to.
A public staircase.
Yeah, public stair. But this is a while ago. I was in college.
I was just imagining you
yesterday
in an apartment building that you lived at. I'm like, bro, I think you can fuck here. I don't think there's like. You're just on one of those continuous staircases at the gym.
On the Stairmaster.
Yeah, it just keeps going. You're just falling down and fucking the whole way. I think you should try to go to a country that you know nothing about.
Which one did you go? And why is that?
The first country I felt like, so I took a Japanese culture class when I was in college, and
why'd you take that?
Because I liked, I felt like anything I knew about it I liked. Like I liked the food.
The food.
I liked kabuki theater. I liked.
What type of food sucked you in? Sorry, I know this is not my podcast, but I was just curious.
No, we've just shifted podcasts. Guys,
It's my podcast now.
It's Lazy Susan. We're gonna go to another one over here. Welcome back to Talking to the Wall with Johnathan Kite. Our sponsor is MeUndies. So growing up in the 80s and 90s in Illinois, there were a few places that had sushi. I think, like, especially in the middle of the country, where a lot of coastal cities had them, but not like the Midwest. And a sushi place opened near my parents' house. And I just thought it was really great. And I grew up with two of my best friends growing up. Their father was born in Japan. And so he would make Japanese food for us at the house.
Wow.
And so I liked the movies. Like, I liked Kurosawa and I liked anime. So a lot of the stuff that they were exporting commercially, I really thought was cool.
Oh, okay. Your friend was Japanese or white?
Japanese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
because I know he made Japanese food, but I wasn't sure what.
yeah, Alan was the father, and then his two boys were their mom was white and their father was Japanese. So we grew up in Cub Scouts together.
Oh, got it.
And so I got to learn more about the culture through them, and but I didn't really know it. I think because I went really before there was a lot of internet exposure to it.
Yeah.
So it felt like I was.
You're really going to a different thing.
Yeah, like my GPS didn't work on my phone.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and for all the trains they didn't speak English.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was at least because you make more of an effort, I think, if you don't know. And it was a lifelong dream of mine to visit.
How long were you there?
I think the first time I went, I was there for like maybe 10 days.
Oh, damn, that's a good while.
Yeah, it was awesome. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been one time. I did an exchange program in the summer.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know how like there's videos where people like shove you in?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
A real thing.
I didn't think it was gonna be a real thing.
No, it feels like it can't fit.
You can't fit.
Dude.
They have people pushing you in literally.
It feels like a Japanese game show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but also it's like, I think it's crazy to see how much stuff is sort of blown out of proportion, or it's not real, and but to see stuff like that you think won't be, and it's just like, oh my God.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just see the guy coming out with like the human pusher. Bro,
I didn't get the human pusher.
I saw the guy.
Okay.
And it was like one of those things where he was like in a train conductor uniform and like a little hat.
Wow.
And and I'm just like, bro, we are not gonna make it.
Isn't that so crazy? The Japanese culture, like they're very proper, and if they meet each other, they keep a distance, not really physical touch. But then you get in the train and they're like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable.
They're living on top of each other.
Yeah, on top of each other and so small. The people think New York has a small space, but Japan is like a crazier thing.
You could sleep in a whirlpool dryer. Some of those, like those hotels you've seen them, like everything looks like a Double Dare physical challenge. Yeah. You're like, as soon as you get the flag, you can get a bigger room. Yeah.
If you could recast one of your favorite movies with comedians, who would be in it now?
Ooh.
Rush Hour. Me and Johnathan Kite.
Man! Just me and Chris Tucker. Come on, man! Man, that would be fun, dude. Those movies are so entertaining. I think they're doing a fourth one.
I'm so excited.
I'm just trying to put it out there. I'd love to be in it. I think we should be in it.
We should be in it.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
What ability?
Any one quality or ability. If you could wake up tomorrow with an additional one, what would it be?
To be able to learn languages very quickly. To be a polyglot. Because you see those every now and then. Like Jeopardy will have one.
Yeah.
And the guy or the girl can just speak. I'm like, what's this guy know Klingon? I mean, it's like, that's pretty, I mean, I think that is unbelievably impressive.
It's so, I saw it recently, like a TikTok person, and she knew like 6 languages and fluently.
Yeah.
And when she did the Mandarin one, I was really impressed because she's so fluent. But I feel like if you speak like 6, 7 languages really fluently, you really have to, that's all you do every day, that you have to just study languages. You can't really do anything else, I feel like.
You're right, dude. The older you get, I think it's so time consuming, but also
so cool though.
It's so cool because I always think like to learn a language so that you could do the comedy.
Yeah.
Like when I remember when I performed in India, they would do the setups in English, but the punchlines in Hindi, because it was a turn. Not all the comics, but a lot of them did that. And it was cool because a guy was explaining them to me backstage, like what the punchline was, but And I was like, that's really funny, but I bet it was funnier in their native language. So I think that was just to experience that was a cool thing.
The nuance and the feeling of the words feel different, like in Mandarin or whatever. Yeah.
100%.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
What
I
about
want that
you?
too. Oh, I didn't think of mine. I was really into yours. Let me think. What's the one that maybe like ability, or maybe like taste food without eating it first. Like sometimes I know this is a random one, and I'm sorry.
This is like a character on The Boys on Amazon. You're like, that's the superhero? Yeah. His name is Taste Bud. Yeah, his name is Bud, and it's Taste Bud. You pretended like you didn't have that one in the chamber. You've been thinking about that one a lot, bro.
I have a whole character breakdown in my pocket.
I saw that in your stand-up, dude.
Hey, man, don't tell them.
I know what you mean, though.
Don't say I know what you mean after the whole.
I agree. I mean, I agree with you. I think.
No, I don't even know if that was a thing, but because a lot of the times when before I order the food wherever I am, I try to taste it first, just to go, would I want this one? But I don't have the full experience of the food. So maybe if I could taste exactly, I go, because you sometimes you save money, because if you're like, hey, today I want, the fish, filet-o-fish, but then you eat it, you're like, no, I actually want the burger.
Yeah. Because sometimes you think you want, or when you have envy of order. When let's say you're at a table and you go, oh man, what you got was so much better, and now I'm sitting with this crap.
This is bullshit. Yeah. So if you taste it, you're like, no, this is what I really wanted.
Totally.
And then you eat the thing.
And you don't have to believe servers who are just trying to sell the fish pie.
Yeah, I don't want the fish pie.
My best friend asks that all the time. He's always like, what's the best? What should we get here? And I'm like, bro, he always lists the most expensive thing on the menu and stuff that they're trying to get rid of in the kitchen.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, then you wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah. The frozen, I don't want the frozen fish, but sometimes they make it sound so good. They always tell you what's on it.
Yeah.
And I just go, nope, that's not what I want.
Let me see what this fish looked like last night. It's just in the freezer.
What's the dumbest thing someone's said to you after a show?
I don't like it when people go like the earlier one too, when they said that thing, that one, and then also when they go, oh, it's so nice to see you. I came to support you, but don't, because if you could support me if I'm doing like an art thing, or like a fucking, if I was doing like if I'm driving and I'm anxious. Like I need support, but then at a comedy show, you didn't laugh the whole time, and then you came just to sit there to support me. It doesn't make me feel you just with like half of the people that didn't laugh at me.
Yeah,
come to have a good time
or leave without letting me know you were here.
Just give me money.
Yeah,
support me by giving me money.
Don't be a seat filler at my shows.
Don't be a seat filler, man.
I like that one. Oh man, I think after a show, I don't like when people give me their opinion on the impressions I do. Oh, not like my impression of Trump, but they want to talk about his politics with me. And I remember I did a show in Florida one time, and I used to do a joke about Rush Limbaugh, him being a slave owner, and this woman came up after me, and she was seething with rage, and she was like, "I'm not going to leave here until you admit he's not racist." And I was like, ma'am, I have another show in 20 minutes. And I literally just walked away. That was it. I didn't entertain, but you could tell it was like old rage. This woman was probably like 80 years old. And her friend, who was also that age, was like holding her back. And it was like she was trying to fill out a comment card in life.
Yeah.
She wanted me to know exactly what she thought of the thing. And I was just like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This is not a choose your own adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad one. That people come with the things. But I just hope that they tell them, hey, after you see the show, if you don't like it or if you have things, just say it to your friend. So you don't have to say it to the guy that's doing the thing.
Yeah, why? And also, it's so funny to me that they want to get into like a TED Talk. Like they want to have a podcast about like what yeah. And I just think like, when is that ever, like, I just can't imagine in any other capacity going up and to someone after they work and just to sort of comment on that and thinking that they're going to entertain any of it.
I know. That's a crazy thing. Some people I feel like they're just I think I call them potatoes. They're like nice probably on the inside, but not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of weird looking on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, but nice.
Dead
nice.
weight. Seed
weight.
fillers.
Yeah, I don't
These,
like
yeah, all that's what you call all the seed fillers in one room, a sack of potatoes.
potatoes.
What inedible thing do you wish you could eat?
Like maybe like a piano.
Ooh.
And then like different keys would taste differently. Like the high keys will maybe more sour.
That sounds like a Willy Wonka invention.
Oh wait, did they have that?
No, but I like it.
Oh, because I didn't watch that.
Wow, that's cool.
And maybe if you like press a key, and you wait a little bit, it marinates and then turns into a
Medium rare. Like,
that's good.
I mean, man, doing like Hell's Kitchen with that. I'm thinking like you'd have to like program, like you'd have to play the song to get the right ingredients.
Oh, that would be very good.
You
But then
might-
if you don't play well, then the food is garbage.
and you need your power from before to taste it. That's a really good. I do feel like that's like a Willy Wonka invention. That's pretty good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mine was clouds.
Oh, clouds is good. How do you think clouds would taste like though?
Water.
But how?
But I think of them from like Candyland, where it's like I think about like they would just be like water. That was not a good answer. I
how
couldn't
would you
follow
get
up
it?
Wonka piano.
How would you get it though?
No, I mean I do a Kirby situation. Yeah, from
Just suck
Nintendo,
it?
just like just
No,
yeah,
but if you have to like
deep
sell,
throating them clouds. What?
if you have to sell clouds, or like if I wanted some clouds, you ate some already, but how would you get it?
That feels like a Harry Potter thing, right? Where they're selling clouds.
That would be
I
nice.
feel like they would taste like cotton candy, but maybe watered down.
In a jar?
Ooh.
Where would you put the cloud? Like in a bag?
Or you'd have it like a string.
Oh my God! And you pull it down and it's yours?
And then you're like, hold on, let me get that one for you. I'm like, ooh, cumulonimbus. And then, yeah. I think that'd be
Worst
cool.
fad you were into?
Worst fad? Oh, that's a good one. Not the worst, because I don't regret these, but I had a rat tail for all of junior high. It started as a duck tail, and then it evolved. And I had a very long rat tail.
All right.
When you said fad, I didn't know what it was, but going off of context, I think it's just the worst like trend. Okay, my thing will go off of hair. I think I parted my hair. You know what I mean? And I like to do that. But I also sagged my jeans because 50 Cent did it.
I used to do that. I used to part my hair and sag my
No, you
jeans.
didn't.
I have. We'll pull it up in the comment section. For real, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they're both cool, but then they don't really go together, but I did it.
No, they didn't look. I feel like anybody, like a lot of the guys that sagged their jeans, did
Yeah.
not have
Part hair.
part hair.
But
Flock of Seagulls was not doing the sag jeans.
yeah.
Yeah, I had the 8th grade basketball cut where I shaved it underneath.
Yeah.
And then it was parted and it would lay down.
Yeah,
And
me
I'd go,
too. It feels nice to do the thing
Oh, in the wind? It was awesome.
in the wind. But my face looks different than your face with the part hair.
no,
your
mine
face
look-
look like it'll fit.
Pretty trashy.
Okay. Okay, part hair.
I look like a Burger King Kids Club. Where are they now? Not great.
If you weren't in comedy, what would you be pursuing?
I sell some drugs.
I would look like I'd sell drugs.
I feel like selling drugs is because you don't have to sell it because people want it. So it's more like a food runner, but for drugs. Because you just deliver. You're a delivery guy.
Yeah, you're a distributor.
Yeah, you're a distributor. Like,
Yeah.
And then I feel like distributing is nice. And then I'm pretty organized. And I'm lazy. So they already want it, and it's just being organized. Be like, hey, you want some stuff today? Okay, I have some. You could take it.
This feels like a narc conversation. Like, why is he doing that voice?
Just to make it nice. Because if you come too serious, you know, I'll make.
Hey man, you want drugs?
Yeah, that's too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'd be a lawyer.
What kind of lawyer?
I think like a Time to Kill kind of lawyer.
What's the time to kill?
It's a Matthew McConaughey type of lawyer in a sweaty Southern courtroom defending
Defending who?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Specifically,
Yeah.
Samuel.
That's the one job I want.
Defend
A Time to
Samuel
Kill lawyer.
What's something you're sick of having to explain?
That I don't do cocaine. You'd be surprised. What is something?
But how? Okay. Do you? Okay, maybe this is too sensitive to ask, but I was just curious that if you do another thing, like a drug thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do another thing?
I used to smoke weed,
Okay.
and then it started to affect my voice, and so because I used to smoke cigarettes in college, and then I realized that, and then I was like, I don't know, these aren't the same thing, so I'll just smoke weed, and then it really did start to affect my voice, and so I drink, and then but I sort of decided when I moved out here I was going to quit everything that I was doing before, except drinking, just to sort of minimalize.
Have something.
Yeah, just
You gotta
something.
have something.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't have nothing.
Yeah.
What? Oh, explain the wish they knew. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, it's funny because I like that people are genuinely. I mean, one of the best things I think about comedy today is that more people have been exposed to it than ever before. But explaining what we do and how we do it is very weird, because I think in my mind I'm like, just enjoy it. Like, if I met Michael Jordan or LeBron James, I wouldn't be like, hey, what's your what do you lift? Like, can you just give me your, like, what do you eat? What's your diet like? Just to sort of enjoy the thing that it is, instead of try to like break it down from a clinical or, maybe a little bit. Cause then like, it's so funny whenever, not that this is a bad thing, but when we do like a club in town, we get paid like $20 or whatever. Right. And that always blows people's minds, because they're like, oh, we saw you at the show last night, so you probably made like $1,000. I'm like, bro, I lost money because of the gas.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm fine with it. And then to explain that that's not how it works in LA is always like, wait, what do you mean? So how do you make money doing stand-up? And I'm like, well, you do it on the road. Well, they should pay you the money in LA. And you're just like, this isn't like a union meeting. Like, it becomes like that type of stuff, like the business thing where it's like, I don't even want to talk about it, and I'm in the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Explaining something that you don't want to explain anymore. You know what I was thinking? That sorry, when I have a thing, I get excited.
Yeah.
But when I don't have a thing, I'm not as excited.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I do.
I showed you.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay. I don't like that every time when you meet a new person. I wish we have to do the set of like who we are, where we're from, because it's like a set. It's like old jokes that we can't get rid of, but it's not. I mean, you can make it funny, but it's usually not funny. Like, with the siblings, where you're from, and I don't want to do that. That I just hate. I find it more interesting to know another person, but that's just me. But I don't want to do the same set. I wish there was a thing that people just know, like, oh yeah, he's, because every time it's like, yeah, I'm from this, and then I came, and then I'm, the normal. That's not fun. I want I want the deep stuff.
It's like you're constantly starting a new job where everything is like an icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
Yeah, where it's like, it's so shallow, it doesn't even matter.
It's okay, because that's you will get to the deep thing eventually, but I wish we could skip it.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
do the thing.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So maybe that.
Yeah.
Don't want to explain that. For everybody. This is like the cloud is for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
You can have it too.
You just won $1 billion. What are you still not buying?
A ticket to Firefest 2.
I want to buy all the stuff. No. A horse.
All right.
Because with the horse, I feel I heard that horse is really sensitive, and then they have a lot of soul, like the most soul. And so if you have a horse and you gotta tend to it, you gotta really love the horse, and then you gotta really be with the horse. And I'm gonna feel bad because if I have $1 billion, I'm not gonna be with the horse. It's gonna be some other guy be with the horse.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be my horse. So I'm not gonna buy a horse.
Yeah.
What would you not buy?
A boat. I would not buy a boat.
No, a big one or a small one?
No. There's always problems. You never hear people bringing up like, oh, did you hear what happened to my boat? I'm like, what? They're like, nothing. It's always working. People, it is a money pit.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, it's sitting in water in a usually a part where the weather is temperamental. So it's constantly battling things, even when it's in a stationary position not being used. And you need to then hire. It's like when you give somebody a gift that requires batteries.
Yeah.
It's you gave me a gift, and then I got to go fucking buy the goddamn. Nobody sells D batteries. It's like they didn't sell watch batteries because everyone had them for their thermometers during COVID. But it's like it's the same thing with a boat. Like everything is a guy that I used to hang with had a boat, and it was always like he's like we should just go on the boat, and I was like cool, let's do that. But it was always like a crazy process where he had to set up like all these other things to get it there, and then of course it was just bleeding money the moment we got there.
Damn.
So it's like a horse, but without a soul. You know?
What is something you wish other comedians would stop doing?
I wish half of the comedians stopped doing comedy. So there's more jobs for the other half of the comedians.
Yeah. I was going to say social media. Because if we all stop doing social media, then it feels like it would be, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But, the fact that this is like, I mean, it's just part of like the business, right? Like it's just giving you something else to hold while you're trying to bring in the groceries.
Yeah. That's a good one. Nobody does social media but me. I want to do social media.
Well, will you do it for me too?
I don't want to do. I'll do it for you too.
Okay, so us two.
Us two, and then
that's it.
That's it.
What do you wish you had more time for?
To go to Montana. I want to go to Montana.
Have you ever been there?
No, that's why I want to go. Because I heard that it's really pretty. There's water things and then green. I really like parks. Like wherever city I go to a park. Just by myself. I smoke a cigarette on the bench when nobody's around. Or like if they're far away. Yeah. And I feel like Montana is just like a park, but with like a really, really nice big park. Yeah. And you could have a swing like at the porch like in the movies. And you could smoke a cigarette there too. Nice. But what was the question?
What was it?
If we had more time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. What would you do?
If I had more time, I would. I think I would. I think I try to balance my work life and my personal life, but I think sometimes like my work life just gets so. It's not as understanding as your personal life, where it's like if you have something to do or if a show comes up or whatever, you have to go do that, and if you don't, you just have to accept the consequences, the ripple effect that is our business, So I think that I would probably, even though I do carve out time for my friends and family, if I had the ability to do it where it didn't change or affect the other stuff, I would carve out more time for them.
It would be nice to have 2 Johnathan Kites.
Dude, like Severance, like the show Severance.
Yeah. Like the show Severance, but like instead Severance, like the daytime you and the nighttime you, but like daytime and nighttime you. So different.
Yeah, friends and family me.
Yeah, friends and family you.
Like a T-Mobile plan. Like friends and family me, and then
the work you.
Yeah, the work me. That would be awesome.
And then maybe like another like a vacation you. And then if it's too indulgent, then you could kill one. Like you get to kill one.
Oh wow.
If it's two, because you know how like if you're on
So
vacation,
two of me are burying the third.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
crazy.
together.
Was that the question?
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. I want to.
It's Jason and two of me burying a third me. I've just enlisted you in this crime.
That's okay, man.
Okay.
What would constitute a perfect day for you?
I have mine, but
Oh no, tell me.
okay. I want to wake up, and I'm not gonna go on my phone for like 30 minutes, which I've never done. And I want to cook some scrambled eggs for my family. And I have 2 kids. I don't have 2 kids, but I'm gonna have.
In
2
this
kids.
perfect day.
In this perfect day, cook some things,
Yeah.
right? And then I fly. Oh, but before that, I kiss my wife, and I say hello to my. I drive a golf cart to like 20 minutes away to see my in-laws and my family. I say hello, and then I drive back, and I mow the lawn, but just one strip. I just want to mow, go right, and then I go, okay, you do it now, because I just want to do it real quick to smell the grass, and
So who's
manly.
taking over for you?
some guy.
Oh, so you have a work staff.
No, just one guy. I want him to do everything and feel
Okay.
stressed out all the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, no, but
In your fantasy, someone has to have pain.
yes,
Yeah,
I want to
okay,
look at him
yeah.
and go, you're not. It's not good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll kiss my wife, or whatever, and then I want to fly to do like a theater thing, to do stand-up comedy. I love doing stand-up comedy, and then after, I would sleep, have good sex with another woman. So I have a wife, which is really nice, but the wife would also go, she's okay. And then I come home, and then I'll call my wife and go, is there anything you need? Do you want me to come home today, or can I just stay here and have sex with the other lady?
And what does she say?
She might say, okay, but I'll be mad.
In your perfect day. Wow. There needs to be, man, someone's got to be getting the shit kicked out of them work-wise, disappointment, and I need to not satisfy my wife. That's a perfect day for you.
Okay.
Where you satisfy everybody except the people that work for you and your wife.
I want to satisfy them.
Oh,
I wanna
okay.
satisfy them.
Different
Yeah,
day?
yeah. Different perfect day.
Oh, different.
Different perfect day.
You have a multiverse of perfect days?
Perfect
Yeah.
This is one of them.
I actually was just overseas, and I had a pretty perfect day.
Wow.
Where it was my birthday, and I woke up, and I had gotten to Cairo, and I had always wanted to see the pyramids of Giza.
You were at Cairo?
And I was a couple days ago, yeah. And it was cool because I'd always wanted to see it, and I was there with some of my best friends.
Wait, Cairo is Egypt, no?
Yeah.
Dude, that's my one place I really wanted to go forever, since I was a kid till now. And you went to Cairo.
I just
okay.
yeah,
And
a
then
week
what
ago.
happened?
And then so I woke up and we went to visit the pyramids, and with my friends, and it happened to be my birthday, and I planned it out that way. And then we came back and we went on a tour of this museum that had all of these ancient Egyptian artifacts. And I got to talk with my parents about, because my father's a history buff, and so we got to sort of share this. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, and weird because there's imaging available, video available of everything, but to really see it's like watching a dinosaur. It's like to see something that big that is older than everything on the earth, that in just laying at the outskirts of a city. So you literally come upon it when you're driving. It's the backdrop of Cairo, and it's in Giza, so it's across, the river, and then we went out to dinner that night, and we went and we had dinner on the Nile River, like right there, and then we went to this rooftop, this giant building rooftop, and we like drank and smoked shisha, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And then and
With
then-
you and your best friends.
well, yeah, it was pretty great.
Is your family there too, you said?
No, but I talked to them on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. Oh, yeah, we did that at the thing, yeah.
and because I'd always wanted to take him to see some of the wonders of the world, and I thought that this one would probably be like the top of the list after seeing it.
When you said take them.
Take my father to visit.
But you didn't take him.
I didn't know about it until just now. I mean, I hadn't seen it. If it was, because some things that you see and they're very impressive, but then there's some things that really blow
I
your
see, I
mind.
see, I
And I
see.
wanted to see this to see if it was going to be.
Sorry, I wasn't meant to make you feel. I was
Oh
just
no!
curious, yeah,
I'm saying I've seen stuff that you go, oh, this is cool, or I like this journey.
yeah.
But to see that
Yeah.
was like mind blowing.
Wow. I really want to take me.
Yeah.
And your father.
Me and my dad.
Yeah.
Travels with Jason and my father. I'm like, wait, what?
Mr. Kite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would go, hello. He's a very nice man. You'll like him.
That's nice.
You'll meet him on the trip.
If when you died, you got put into a room for eternity with people who died the same way, how would you want to die?
Die the same way? Which way are we dying? Do we choose?
You pick. So what
Oh.
happens is you die in a certain way, and then you're in a room forever with people who died the same exact way.
Oh, shit. And who would I want to die?
No, it's you die, and then the way you die, you're in a room with people who died the same exact way for eternity.
Okay, so,
So
how
how
would
would
I?
you want to
Oh, okay,
die?
got it. Oh, that's a good question, man. I feel like a lot of artists hang themselves. Like,
Is that true?
no?
It's just you and Robin Williams and David Carradine. It's a pretty fun room, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I don't
really
want
good.
to. I don't want to hang myself, but because I want to meet them, I'll hang myself.
I thought you were gonna say get shot,
I was gonna say that
because then
Get shot is
Lincoln, Tupac,
Oh.
you're both here.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say peacefully in my sleep, because then you get a variety of people.
Oh, that's really nice, man.
Yeah.
Variety of sleep. Yeah.
What changes have improved your life so much you wish you did it sooner?
I wish that I drink significantly less than I like this year. I never had a drinking problem, but I see the ripple effect of it in my life, and I see what is capable. Since May, and I still drink, but I've cut it down comparatively, and I was like, man, I thought about this the other day. I was like, I wish I had done it 10 years ago.
What was the point that made you say like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut it down for sure"?
I
now?
got an audition for something, and it was a submission. So I had to. It wasn't just like it wasn't just like do these lines, and it was a acting and a writing thing. It was like together, and so I just was like, it needs all your brain cells to really do something that's going to make this worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I worked on it. I think in end of May is when I started it. And I really worked on it for like 5 weeks. And I thought at the end when I was really proud of the submission.
You're really talented, man.
Oh, thanks, man. That's
No,
kind
because
of
I went to a taping at Two Bro Girls because a really long time, a while ago.
Oh, wow.
And then you had a line from the kitchen and you did it like 3 different ways and it crushed.
Oh, thanks,
But
man.
it wasn't even in the thing, I don't think. You just riffed it. And it was so good.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
That guy is a fucking talented guy, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah,
that
but
was,
that's, yeah.
But it's funny, that show, I never drank during the week because we would film, and rehearse like Monday through Friday. But I think, it was one of these things where on the weekends, it wasn't stressful like at all, but I needed a release to go. And so I wound up just like drinking on the weekends.
You have to release it.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm saying,
imagine being on the thing.
It
like
was,
fucking.
and that's the thing. It's like I know that I couldn't have done it any other way. I don't think that I'm not a masochist. But when I look back on it, I go, I wonder if I could have gotten away with drinking less.
No way, man.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
then. Bro, there's no way you could drink it less. Yeah, because if your brain is functioning like that every day and on set for that long.
yeah, maybe
And you got to relax. You got to go fucking slosh.
totally. And that.
That's another thing that I do that people don't know is that I get sloshed like once every 3 months. Or 2 to 3 months. And I get really fucked up.
What does
and I
that
think-
mean to you? Get sloshed.
like just sort of like a normal person drinking. So I'll do like maybe 12, 15. But I would take like 6 shots within an hour, and then I'll get really fucked up, and I'll wake up in like 2 hours, and I'll do another 6, and get really fucked up, just to feel something.
Wow.
I gotta feel something because I can't be like this the whole time every day like that. But I don't do it.
That should be your death.
Oh, drink.
A lot of super interesting people drank themselves to death, bro. You'd be in good company.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
But what was it?
What changes have improved your life so much you wish you did it sooner?
Sorry, I interrupted you earlier.
No. That was it.
I think. The being okay with myself, but I'm still working on that. But I really was okay with myself for a really long time. Like really hated myself and everything that I do, but I try to accept more of myself, because it's like if you don't do it, then it's like there's gonna be things and people's gonna say stuff or whatever the thing is. But I feel like I feel the best in my whole life now, but a lot of the times I would think like, oh, it's probably gonna be over soon, because I never felt like okay for more than like like a week or two. Okay, relatively okay,
And did something change that now you're able to, or you just had a realization of like, it's now or never?
I think slowly, just like every time I'm like, you know what, it's fine. And because before I never say it's fine. It's never anything is fine. But sometimes now I go, oh, it's okay. Like you could chill, have a cigarette, and look at the trees, and it's okay. And it feels good. And I'm like, I want to feel good. I want to feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and a couple more times I do that, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that more. Yeah. So I wish that I did that before. But I don't know. Like sometimes if you, like you said, when you said, could you have done lower in drinking when you're doing the thing? I don't think I could feel like this if I didn't, feel like shit before, or appreciate what this feels if I never.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason I did it is like I remember when I got to LA, like I couldn't get into a single club. Like I literally could not go. I'd have to be with like 1,000 women, and they would have to be like, I'd have to be in a wig, like being ushered in with one of them, And then so when I got the show, it was like the first time that they were just like, oh, you could just go in. And I thought I really wanted to see what was behind those closed doors. It was like, alcohol, spoiler alert. But, you know what I mean? But it's like, it was something that I wanted to just see for myself,
All right, last question. When was the last time you remember crying of laughter?
So I just auditioned for this commercial that I didn't get United Airways, and which is fine because I fly Delta. No, but they asked us to watch something real, and have illicit crying, but real. They could, if you can't do it, then don't submit. And I watched Windy City Live, or Windy City Heat. I mean. I watched that thing that genuinely made me laugh, because I was like, there's nothing, like there's some moments in like Naked Gun or whatever, but I know that Windy City Heat would make me laugh every time. And so I just, like a couple weeks ago, I had this audition and I put it on, and they said like, I filmed myself for like 2 minutes just watching this one scene, and man, I was laughing so hard.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It
feels good to laugh like that.
Yeah, it felt great.
Especially something that you like too.
Yes.
Yeah. I that's really rare to have like a thing that you're like, I think this is funny, and I'll put it on, and you have a great time.
By the way,
that's the fucking best, man.
I didn't think about it until I was there, because they wanted the drama too, because they're like, what would make you cry? And I know a drama that makes me cry every time. And they were like, but we want a happy one too. And I was racking my brain being like, I can't, and I didn't want to fake the other way, just because I knew the other one would be so sincere that it would just, if I wasn't sincere with the laughing one, in comparison, it would just look so fake and cheesy. And then when I was there, I kept like texting all my buddies and just being like, what's the funniest movie you've ever seen? Or like, is there a comedy special that you could think of, And then it just hit me. And I was like, no. And I was like, and I said to the guy, I go, I don't even know what the scene is. I go, I'm going to YouTube it. I'm not going to remember. Just film me. And I watched it for the first time in a long time, as if I was watching it for the first time. And it made me laugh so hard.
That's the best. My my one is like, I find it really, really funny because I was laughing really hard, but you guys might not, because it's a really goofy thing. Because a lot of the times when me and my friend, when we exercise, yes, it looks nice, but 80% of it is because I really don't feel good if I don't, and I will equate it as there's demons inside of me that I got to get it out because there's demons. And then and we were sharing a hotel room. Cole Garrett, he's really funny. He's my really good friend. And he exercises too. And I was like, I was like rolling. I was foam rolling. And I was like, he's like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get the demons on the outside too. And then I was like, is your demon French? Why'd you say demon like that? And he's like, actually, no, is demon. He's black.
I was going to say.
And that shit made me laugh. So, and I keep thinking about it.
He was in New Edition, right?
Huh? What?
Demone. Wasn't he in New Edition with Bobby Brown?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. It's
Sorry,
just
I don't know the movie.
It was an R&B group from
okay.
It was Johnny Gill, Demone, Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
That's really funny.
Because he said it immediately. He's like, it's demon. He's my demon. He's black. And just thinking about a black demon is really funny. I don't know. It just kept getting funny. But yeah, that was it. I was laughing for like 5 minutes. Some stupid thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. This is so fun.